basically, we're going to go into back bends, but this is for those that are wanting to train to open up your backs and you're having trouble. So this series is going to be basically how I will get you flowing into a back bend, and you just take it slow and easy. I also have blocks to modify. Two of the things that I actually really request for you at home is to buy two different types of blocks. You see the size difference? One is about the regular size that you see on any store like Target. And these, sometimes you may run into them, and if you do, pick them up. If not, then go ahead on Amazon and ask for a smaller version of it. Or Yoga Outlet may also provide those for you. But it's what I want, and the reason you'll see as we get into our flow why I requested. If not, then two of these, of the thick ones, will work just as fine. However, it's how I help open up the back, and I'm going to keep it simple, very easy to go through this process. Also, the balls are key here because we're going to open up the back just like you did in week 1 with the active release therapy balls. They're very much key. So we're going to allow ourselves to bring in these in handy, all 3. And the reason why you will see as we go along. This will really help you tone up, open up the back, and create that flow that you want, and over time, build that strength. Okay, so let's get started. Hi everyone, let's get started. We begin now by bringing ourselves onto the floor in this position. And some of you may have difficulty coming down. As again, you've been on the 3rd week, by now you should be able to know how to open up that back. But let's go ahead. You find these areas that are tight. We start with the orange active release therapy balls. Recline back. In my case, it's my right side hip. I place my ankle on top and roll. Just for a few times, back and forth. To ease that, swing it to the left and do the same thing. Take the ball and now roll it on my back. Hold on to your shirt so you don't lose it. Roll it up and down. Engage in that entire spine. Release. Repeat again. Coming down, and you see how my body just opens up much easier, and it has that accessibility of a deeper forward fold without struggling. Now, let's work on our backs. So now that I've warmed up my hips, I'm going to open up my back before we proceed forward with our poses. So I'm going to take one. As I take this one, I am going to take it, as you can see, all along my shoulder blade. That is what you're going to do, is roll this ball. As I recline back, I place the ball on the top. Lower the arm over my head, just like that. And I lift the pelvis up, roll a few times. And roll back. Gonna head onto the area of the neck, releasing any tightness. Do the same for the right. And release. Place your ball down. The reason why I like the small ones is because it allows the back to really open up. So if you're tight, come in a reclined position just like this. Place the block right at that edge of your low back. Recline back. And if you experience your pelvis lifting up, you know you're super tight, there's a lot of compression. So try to stay calm. Press your pelvis down. Allow your arms to drop and try to grab the shoulders. If you can do this with a small block, you have a really nice curvature in your back. I have scoliosis, so I tend to feel a little bit of pressure on my right side, low hip, and sometimes on my shoulders. So this actually helps me open up and release tension that's going on in that area. Take deep breaths. Acclimate yourself into this space and allow your back to mold itself to the block. And now slowly shift the block up your spine about an inch. By now that pressure you felt is slowly dissipating away. And again, you allow yourself to drop the shoulders. Come back up. So I'm holding about 5 counts. Bring it up, and now the edge of the block is going to be at the bottom of my shoulder blades. Take the arms over your head, and I do have my hair in a bun, so it's a little difficult to bring my head down. Adjust it, and then allow yourself to breathe here. This allows to align anything that's misaligned in the shoulders, so just take a moment to breathe and just allow it to flow and do its process. Let the muscles relax with your breath. And exhale. Beautiful. As we come up, you may experience a little tightness at first, so fold forward, bring yourself down. And if you still feel tightness in the hips, continue to roll on the balls, and I would suggest the orange ones. Let's just proceed forward. And now take the arm down to the floor. I'm going to turn myself to the camera so you can see me. If you can't come all the way down, stay here. But if you can, work your way down and keep in mind that the knees are to stay grounded. Breathe deeply. Exhale. You want to stretch out the QL and extend that arm as high as possible, opening up. So if you're here, just remember, imagine yourself against the wall. And exhale, let it go. Come into a spinal twist. So open up everything along our torso. Good. Drop the chin down. Round, concave, inhale. Open up the chest. Breathe, exhale. Breathe, exhale. Breathe, exhale. 2 more. And exhale. Go in a circle from right to left. Concave back. Extend the chest forward. You're going 5 times. Let's go. 3 more. And just move gracefully. And now reverse it. Breath work. Come back and now arms up. Exhale. Good. Let's go ahead and let's do a few more poses here as we go now. Sinking in child pose. Inhale up. Let's modify now our camel pose as we now extend the right arm. Hold for 5. Inhale up and switch. And exhale. Let's come back down. Let's come now. Work our way into Sambala. Hold here, breathe. Sambalasana, this is where we hold and we are going to interlace our fingers. Breathe. Arms now onto the floor by your chest. And let's go into up dog. Exhale, back in child pose. Coming back. And let's go into now a circular formation of just opening up the body, opening up our chakras, flowing deeply and moving gracefully. And let's reverse it. Dance along, move the body gracefully. allow yourself to come into a seated position with your legs extended. We're going to now extend just the right leg for now as we go into Janusiddhasana, and we take a hold of our right hands to our foot. Hold it here, breathe in deeply, and engage in your sternum to be extended forward, your sit bones to be extended back, so your spine is not rounding but extending and lengthening. You also keep in mind your foot has to be completely as if it was against a wall. So feel yourself activating the calf and as well as the hamstrings. So breathe deeply and hold. We're not going into a deep forward fold, we're just opening up everything. Release it. Extend the other one and do the same thing. Breathe deeply. Be mindful of your posture. Follow your breath. And exhale. Let us now extend the hands behind us, open up the heart, and bend the knees slightly as we lift the pelvis up into our reverse plank. Hold. Beginners can go up and down, so you inhale up, exhale down. Otherwise, hold the plank position for 5 counts. Exhale back. Good. And now let's go into a little bit of our training here. I'm going to take the big block and I'm also going to place it in this position. You're going to now, here is your floating ribs right here. All of this here that you feel here are your ribs. I want that block to be right on those ribs, right in the center of your spine to support your spine. Take the smaller block, place it flat for those that are really tight with their backs. This is perfect for you to now just stay here, and you can open up, bring the soles of your feet together, or just completely extend the legs. We are to hold this for about a good 8 breaths. So we breathe in, and the goal is to allow the shoulders to sink into your shoulder blades to kind of create that mold along that block. And for you to just relax and allow your shoulders, so if you have rounded shoulders, the shoulders are to slowly ease themselves into this position and open up. But this is something you must do every day in order for you to open up and release that rounded shoulder posture that you have created. So this is one of the ways to do so. I'm going to hold it for 5, assuming you can hold it for 8. And now, once we come out of that, we did this with the smaller block. I'm going to have you now use the bigger block so you can see the difference. And I know that beginners will have a hard time at first with this, but as you can see, I'm able to keep my pelvis down as well as bringing the shoulders down. This is what you want to be able to create and allow that spine to give that space it needs. We move it back up. I have a short spine, so it doesn't take long before I have that right underneath my shoulder blades. So I take my arms over the head, and we hold it for another 5 counts. And we come back. So now I am ready for my workout. And let us now go ahead and bring ourselves into the bridge pose. As we come into bridge, keep your feet in alignment. Breathe in deeply. Breathe. 2, engage as you're bringing the shoulders to the ground. You're engaging into the hips, thrusting them up into the ceiling, and just allowing yourself to breathe deeply, keeping those shoulder blades engaged as well. Nice and firm, and putting the weight on the shoulders and your feet. And exhale. Release. Let's go ahead and inhale up. Exhale, give me 8. Inhale up. you go into a back bend, you want to decompress. Hold and release. So we're gonna roll back up. And I'm going to now allow you to see how it is when we are going into a back bend and we train our bodies to go into back bends. And we're gonna need two of the same sides blocked. In this case, I'm gonna use the big ones, and you can wean yourself to the small one to eventually go into the floor. All right, here we go. I have now created a beautiful setup right here where the two blocks of the same size are against the wall. Allows you to really have that support against the wall is the best way, because you don't want to slip and fall when you're trying to do it on the floor. And this is almost like, by adding the blocks, creates an extra platform, so that way if you have difficulty bringing the arms back in this formation and your elbows are out, or you have some kind of a slight deformed in the arm, then some deformity in the arm, you're going to find yourself having a difficult time placing them straight on the ground. So this is the perfect way to allow you to slowly train those arms to come in. So let me go ahead and show you. As I come back, I work myself to the back, place my hands firmly onto those blocks, position myself, bring the heels close to the glutes and parallel, and the feet should be facing forward. Press, lift, up and towards the wall. But for now, look up. And when you come back down, work your way down with not your head, but bringing the shoulders down. And that is how you're going to gain access of building your back. Breathe in, hold it for about a breath or two, and then come back down. And as time goes by, you will find yourself being able to gain more and more mobility. And then I'm going to now introduce you what it looks like without the wall. And let's go. Tuck the toes under, down dog. Walk your feet up and down. Come in a plank. Let's press down to the ground. Salamasana, hold here. Palms down, private chest, upward facing dog. Back into child pose to decompress. Inhale up on your knees into now a cow pose, modified. Inhale up, exhale now, back to the other one. Exhale back. And now if you want to and you have no problem doing it, go ahead with both hands. Exhale back into child pose to decompress. Coming right through the cobra pose. Bend at the knees, coming into bow. Exhale down. Coming into locust as we extend the chin to the floor, slide our hands under, raise the left leg, right foot goes underneath the thigh and hold. Release it, switching sides. Inhale, exhale. Cross at the ankles. Janusirasana. Inhale up. behind, lift. Release, hands slowly now. Let us come into our bridge pose. Heels close to the glutes. Lift the pelvis, interlace your fingers. Exhale. Warm up the spine, breathing in. Exhale down for 5 counts. As we now prepare into the wheel, if you're not doing it against the wall and you're able to, place your hands by your shoulders, press the palms, press the feet, and stretch out. Breathe. If you want to get fancy, you're going to walk your feet away, and then bring your shoulders down. Decompress. We're going to go into plow. Make sure you support your back, and then we roll out slowly, keeping the head on the ground, and bring the knees into the chest and decompress. Let's exhale. Your back will be sore from all this back bending and forward folding, back bending and forward folding. You want to be able to go into a spinal twist at the end of your practice. And now, going into our fish pose, slide your hands underneath. I'm going into a modified version of it where you point your toes, lift the elbows, you're lifting your chest up, and you're coming on your elbows into the tip of your head. Hold it here, breathe. Raise the head, and release. Just the way you came up, you come right back down. Release the hands, and into your final relaxation. In this point, you are just to focus and gaze into and go into your meditation. So, I hope you enjoyed your backbend flow. And again, you can be creative, but take it slow and easy because backbends are not easy. Remember what I said, it's affirmations. Allow yourself to be open. This is all about the heart chakra and expressing also that heart chakra to be free, loving, and open. So you must have that in your mind and allows the body to open up. When you close yourself up, you do not allow that and your body shuts down. This rounding of the shoulders is a way of like you're protecting yourself. So remain to be very vulnerable and trust the process. Love you. See you tomorrow for your workout.